Sellers are struggling. It's kind of a thing. And it's not just in our market. Our market it's always been unique because we've always had a low inventory and high demand. Even though we've seen the market contract over the summer, we're going to see things happen over the next couple of weeks. And let me show you what's going on. This article right here is from my muse, Ryan Lundquist. If you watch what I do, this guy talks about all these different rate charts and different things in the Sacramento area. He's an appraiser, and he gives us good data and good ideas for us to present how the housing market is in a very cool visual form, which is his charts. And we'll go into that in a minute. Sellers have to realize that, sorry. I'm going to bring this down just a little bit. I'm getting top dollar and no concessions to the buyer. That was the last couple of years, right? That was 2021, 2022, and then rates went up. And now buyers are just sitting on the fence until they get what they want. It's been decades that it's been a seller's market. And now we're seeing markets across the country turn into buyer's markets. We're not technically in a buyer's market right now. We're in kind of a balanced market. And the reason why I'm saying that is because there are still buyers out there. We're still selling about 150 to 200 homes every week in Santa Clara County. We're still selling at a pop, right? And it's based on the inventory, the demand. The demand is hindered because of rates. Now, rates have come down, which we'll talk about in a minute. He talks about what's going on in Metro List, which is the Northern California MLS, mostly in the Sacramento region, but it goes down to a couple different counties down in the middle Central Valley area. And while I have access to it, it doesn't really pull the same kind of data. It doesn't ask for the same data. I have access. I use MLSlistings.com, which is out of Sunnyvale, and it's sponsored by a bunch of very rich, well-to-do brokerages. And so we're stuck having to use that. It's not the best, nor is MLS Listings. It still feels like they're back in the 1980s with their entry for the format, the way it's presented. But anyway, going back to this, sellers are playing hardball over $9,000. I don't have access to the concessions or how much those concessions are. That goes specifically to appraisers. And I'd love to have Ryan show us what those numbers are here in the Bay Area, the 12 counties of the Bay Area. I just don't have access to that. There's no way for me to scrape that data from my subscription of the MLS Listings. Here's the thing. The number one reason why homes don't sell is seller ego. We want to make a commission. Absolutely. There's two different types of agents out there. One's with commission breath and ones that know that they have to do the right thing for the seller. And when you have a seller that's demanding that his house is worth X amount of money and it's not because the market is contracted, then you're dealing with a non-sale. And we've had a lot of homes not sell or sit on market for 30 to 90 days or longer. There's houses out here in the Bay Area that have been on market over a year because the seller still thinks that the house is worth X, whatever that number is. Giving concessions is one thing, but matching the market is the most important thing. Based on condition of the house, the location, recent comps, which is the market conditions, right? The market will tell you what your house is worth. If you think your house is worth what it was 6 months ago, you're wrong, period. I hate to tell you that, but you're going to waste your time. You're going to think your agent's an idiot because your house isn't selling based on the condition of the house, the location, and the market condition. Done. More concessions at a lower price. Well, yeah. So lower priced homes, like the east side of San Jose, where you see more $1 million homes versus $2 million homes, you're going to see more concessions. Reason being is those are first-time buyers. Those are first-time buyers, and they need those concessions. Or those were rentals, and now the owner is escaping that house. Maybe he fixed up a couple things, but still things need to be fixed up, and the buyer is asking for concessions to do those repairs. It doesn't necessarily include the commission, the buyer side commission. If you remember, the NAR got sued, and we were told that we can't include buyer commission co-op anymore because we had to separate the two, which is still kind of confusing to me, but it is what it is. We are going to see more concessions. The market's going to continue to slow down, even though rates have come down, not considerably, but they've come down. We're going to see more concessions in the second half of 2025. That means right where we are right now, September 11th, the housing market is going to continue to stay slow, mostly because rates are high. It's not because of lack of inventory, even though we don't see a ton of inventory right now. We're not at a balanced market. Sellers think they're still in the driver's seat. Buyers are really the backseat driver, saying, now, if you want this house sold, this is my offer, take it or leave it, right? Expect more concessions, period. And this is, again, Sacramento County, you're seeing concessions go high. Now, when rates go down, concessions go away, right? This is when we had the historically low 2.5% mortgage interest rates. Since then, rates went up to 7%, and it kind of started going into, well, if you want this house sold, you need to listen to the buyer. Appraisers help bring this change to the MLS. That's back into the MLS thing. Monthly prices in Sacramento region. Average sales price is $420 per square foot in the Sacramento area. Ours is a little bit higher, like closer to $1,000 per square foot. We're still not seeing massive climate inventory. We did see it come in, but not where we needed to be. We needed to be at about 2,000 homes for sale in Santa Clara County, or 1,000 homes for sale in San Jose. We're just not seeing that, mostly because people who bought their house at 2.5%. They're not going to move at 6 or 7%. They're just not. Why would you double, or triple your mortgage payment so you can move into a house with one more bedroom, right? Sacramento area is completely different here. This one talks about homes sold above and below listing price, the original listing price. It's important. I talk about that on Monday and Tuesday. It's important for us to understand where houses are landing. And in Santa Clara County, houses on the average are selling 5% more than the list price, than the original list price, if it's priced correctly based on the location, the condition of the property, and the market. Okay. So more stats are coming soon. We'll talk about that later. Mortgage rates have dropped down to 6.25. 6.25. Hasn't been like that for a while now. Well, since September 2024. Imagine that. September 26, 6.14. So, maybe this is a good time for you to jump into the market. I'm not telling you not to. If you took a look at the median price of a house in Santa Clara County is $2 million. 30-year fix, $400,000 with excellent credit. You're looking at 5.821 with 3/4 of a point. HSBC is offering 6.28, which isn't that great. That's no points. So again, I think you can get it down to 5.7, maybe even lower. Talk to your lender. If you don't have a lender, let me know. What do you get for $2 million in Santa Clara County? This is Cashmere Court, not my listing. $2 million, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet, built in 1969, and they really haven't done much to it. If you want to know where it is, it's right here. Okay. And this is a flat roof home. I don't understand what this whole thing is. Doesn't make sense to me, but let's take a look inside. It's just design. This 2-story, looks like the second story is a loft of some sort, taking advantage of the vaulted ceilings. It looks like that was probably an afterthought, looking at that stairwell right across the way from that window. You have, yeah, and there's a REWTF right there. Bash your head on the stairwell going into and out of the kitchen? Sure, why not? Makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, I can't get past that run. That just doesn't do anything for me. All for the purpose of having a loft. Oh, and a closet. You know, I think they messed up with that loft, because that doesn't do anything for me. And the backyard needs a little bit of work, needs some updating. They have some old clay pavers. I had that in my house when I first moved here. It's air conditioning, that's good. Let's take a quick look at the location again. This wall is kind of scaring me. I think it's on, it's backing to a school, maybe? Oh, it's backing to Yukon Drive, which is a busy street. That's why. All right, that's what you get for $2 million in Santa Clara County. What do you get for $1 million in San Jose, Santa Clara, Silicon Valley? Aida Avenue, again, not my listing, $1 million, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,100 square feet, built in 1960, and it is Meadow Fair, right off of King Street, right here. Let's take a quick look at inside. This is a flip that just looks and smells like a flip. Let's take a look at bigger pictures here. There you go. Brand new everything. At least they don't have that back end thing, but what they could have done is put that backsplash all the way through. Kind of looks weird that way to me. It stands out. That's what happens when you have multiple contractors and a designer that doesn't really know what's going on. Look at this closet. Should have been cut down. Anyway, just picking out nits right now. If you know where that came from, let me know. And the backyard, you can tell it's a total flipper. All they do is fix the inside. They don't touch the outside. The landscaping needs to be cleaned up. They could have put some lawn in there, scrape this thing out, put some grass seed and start watering, get rid of all these overgrown trees. And yeah, there you go. That's what you get for $1 million though. So you can't really complain. This episode is brought to you by the Buyers Checklist. If you're thinking about going on a home shopping trip, download this checklist. It allows you to look at every nook and cranny. And when you look at 4 or 5 houses, everything kind of gets jumbled together. This helps you identify 4, 5, 6 houses and allows you to tell you which one you like and which one you don't like, which one has dual pane windows, which ones have air conditioning, that kind of stuff. So you can take a look and make a better choice, cross-reference it. And this is the inventory. Still nothing's going on. We're still below 6 months supply in Santa Clara County for the most part. Napa is the only one that's the outlier, but that's been an outlier for a long time. Santa Clara County, we're seeing very low numbers of inventory and months of inventory. Same thing here, Santa Clara cities. So all these cities right here. And this was San Martin for a bit, but then it popped back down. So that was the outlier. But there's only like 3 or 4 houses for sale in San Martin at any given time. Okay, 8. But you get the idea. It's like it's still a seller's market, but buyers are being wary. They're taking their time. They're deciding on which house they're going to buy versus 2021 when rates are 2.5%. People were buying what they could, whatever they can get into, whether it was the perfect house or not. And that's a big difference between 4 years ago. Yes, there's been an increase of equity. Houses have gotten more expensive over the last 4 years. We're seeing a slight contraction. However, buyers are taking their time. If I'm going to buy a house, it's going to be the house that I want. I either want a turnkey, a fixer. I either want a 4-bedroom or a 3-bedroom. I either want a pool or no pool. I want a house that's been taken care of, well maintained. And I'll tell you right now, a majority of the buyers right now that are coming in, they're being picky. They're being picky because they want the bedroom count that they want. They want pool or not. They want a fixed up house, a house that has been maintained, not flipped so much, but they'll take a flipped house because it makes them feel like it's all done. But inside, the bones might need some work, right? That might need to be tented. It might need to be a new roof or what have you. But they know what that house is worth because they've been to 15, 20, 30 houses. And they're comparing your house to every other house that's on the market right now. And if it's not up to snuff based on what the value is, they're not going to put an offer on it. Period. All right. Hope that makes sense. Thanks for watching. I'm Vito with Abitano. Have a great weekend. We'll see you out there.